You know that feeling when you're sitting in a car dealership and the salesperson says, "You deserve this?" And for just a moment, you feel special. The smell of new leather. The perfect shine of the dashboard. You imagine pulling up to the office with everyone watching. You imagine your parents finally saying, "Wow, you're really doing well." And then you sign the contract. And 3 months later, you're lying in bed at night, and instead of sleeping, you're counting. Counting how many days until payday. How many payments left. Whether you'll be able to save anything this month, or if once again, your entire paycheck will go to the car that doesn't seem so beautiful anymore when you look at it at 6 in the morning on your way to a job you hate, but can't quit because, well, there's that car payment. This isn't about transportation. This is about how one decision turns you into a hostage of your own wallet. Let's be honest. Listen, I don't want you to feel guilty. We're living in a time when prices on everything are rising faster than our salaries, and the advertising around us is screaming, "You deserve better! Live now, YOLO!" And when you walk into a car dealership, they're not selling cars. They're selling feelings. They're selling you the idea that you've finally made it, that you're not a failure, that you can afford nice things, just like all those people on Instagram. But here's the thing. Most people who look successful in their new cars, they're not rich. They're in debt. A new car payment now is like apartment rent, every month for years. And the average loan term? 7 years. 7 years. That's longer than most relationships. That's longer than your last phone lasted. But you sign up for it because in that moment, in that showroom, with that new car smell, your brain isn't thinking about the future. Your brain is thinking, finally, I feel normal. And that's not your fault. But it is your responsibility to understand what's really happening. Now let's talk about what nobody will tell you. About the mechanics working against you from the very first second. You know what really pisses me off? The fact that the automotive industry is built on one simple psychological vulnerability. We confuse price with cost. When you walk into a dealership, they don't tell you, this car costs $30,000. They tell you, it's only $700 a month. And your brain hears $700 and thinks, oh, that's like 2 dinners out. It doesn't calculate 7 years. It doesn't calculate the insurance that's more expensive for a new car. It doesn't calculate that in a year, this car will have already lost 1/3 of its value. Your brain just hears 700 and says, I can do that. This is called the framing effect. When you break down a big, scary number into small chunks, it stops being scary. That's exactly why credit cards are so dangerous. That's why subscriptions eat up your budget. And that's why car dealers never talk about the total cost. But here's what's really crazy. There's this thing called sunk costs. It's money you've already spent and can't get back. And people, all of us, have this terrible habit. We keep throwing money at something bad because we've already invested so much. Imagine you bought a car, and after a year, you realize the payment is killing you. But you think, well, I've already paid so much, I can't just give up now. And you keep paying another year, another 2, another 5, because it would be a waste of the money already spent. But here's the truth. That money is already gone. The question isn't about that money. The question is, how much more you're willing to lose before you stop. Now here's the really interesting part. Know why rich people rarely buy new cars? Not because they're cheap. Because they understand one simple thing. An asset is something that puts money in your pocket. A liability is something that takes money out of your pocket. A car that eats up your payment every month. That's not an asset. That's a liability pretending to be an asset. Actually, rich people buy assets. things that work for them. Us, an apartment they can rent out, investments that grow, skills that increase their market value. And the middle class? The middle class buys things that look like assets, but actually suck away their future. And the saddest part? This gap only gets bigger. While some people are buying status, others are buying freedom. While some are paying to look successful, others are building real capital. In 10 years, the difference between them isn't about who drives the cooler car. The difference is who gets to choose their own life. And here's what I want you to understand. Every payment you make on a new car, it's not just money. It's time from your life, converted into something that's melting away like ice in the sun. Think about it this way. Let's say you make $15 an hour after taxes. Your car payment is $700 a month. That means you're working 47 hours every month just to pay for the car. Almost 6 full work days. Every month. For 7 years. That's almost 500 days of your life. 500 days you're spending on something that's losing value every single second. Now imagine you made a different choice. Bought a decent used car, and invested those same 500 days in yourself, in education, in investments, in an emergency fund that lets you take a risk on a better job. 5 years later, you still have a car, maybe not the newest one, but you also have something else, options, opportunities, the freedom to say no to things that don't work for you. Because the real price of a new car isn't the number in the contract. The real price is everything you sacrifice while paying for it. It's the vacation you didn't take. It's the courses you didn't complete. It's the business idea you didn't have startup capital for. It's the peace you didn't feel because you were always counting days until payday. And the scariest part? It's time. Time you spent at a job you hated because you couldn't afford to quit. That's why the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. Not because the rich are smarter, because they buy time and freedom, and everyone else buys other people's approval. So what do? First, stop. If you haven't bought yet, don't buy. Take a pause. Think not about how you'll feel behind the wheel. Think about how you'll feel in 3 years when you're still making payments. If you've already bought, acknowledge reality. This isn't guilt. This is a lesson. And the best way to fix a mistake is to stop repeating it. When this loan ends, don't go for a new one. Drive what you have. 2 years, 3, 5. And that payment you were making to the bank? Start making it to yourself. It'll be the best investment of your life. Because real luxury isn't the smell of new leather. Real luxury is waking up knowing you're free, that nobody owns your time, that you get to choose. And it doesn't start with big money. It starts with one decision. The decision to stop paying for how you look and start investing in who you are. Your car doesn't define you. Your freedom does.